Hey guys, it's Mike Wise back again, and I thought I would show you a great feature with inside Universal Platform, and it's called bundling. So you've seen me produce plenty of examples now, and you come to understand that you want to be able to take these examples and be able to promote them or move them from system to system. So how do we achieve that? So the bundling feature with inside Universal Platform is how we do that. So in order to do that, I need to produce another example. So today I thought I would go through and provide a really quick demonstration of remote procedure calls and then bundle that and pass it to another platform. So to start with, we head off to the Programmable Web. Much like the Open Data Initiative with the Queensland Government, the or the Programmable Web just tracks APIs provided by companies, and it allows you to call them externally or pay a fee to access their information. So currently they're tracking about 8,841 here APIs. So for this example, what I wanted to do is call some remote web services. So that's a SOAP protocol call, and you can see that they've got a list of various SOAP services you can call. My favorite one's the dead celebrities. Here, Abundant, Dead or Alive have a web service that you can call that tracks celebrities, whether they're dead or alive, essentially. To use it, you have to understand that you need to access their web services definition language, or Wiz File as they call it. It's just a bit of XML that contains methods that you can call in order to operate the service itself that provides data. So we take a copy of that and then start using it. So we log into the platform and we head off to Interface Manager and create a remote call. So we can use our built-in SOAP RPC service and give it a name. So we'll call it Dead People. And press Save here. So we can go off to the service definition here, and one of the great things about the Universal Platform is that we've thought ahead for you and made something easy. So you can just paste in the WSDL here, and you can just simply press Update. Behind the scenes, the platform works everything out for us, simply because we're not developers, but it does provide for us all of the knobs and dials we need to be able to command the service itself. And the interesting things here is that we also take a copy of that WSDL itself and load it into the platform so we can regenerate the service at any time, so we don't need that for now. The other more noticeable thing is that it's worked out all of the methods that we need, so we can see that Abundant have provided for us some things to do. So we can say get born on, get dead or alive, get died on, and today's birthdays. So if we expand these out, these are simply methods that we can call in order to pull back data from their web service, whatever it achieves. So we know it's dead celebrities, and we know that we're going to try and get today's birthdays from it. So I can simply select that particular method and just press save and close. I now need to go and use it, so I have to create a pipeline, so I can press add, and I'll just call it Dead People, and press save. And it's a particular zone. I select the editor, give myself some real estate here, and essentially we just need to call remote call. So I can select the remote call, and it's on the right hand side here, got a bunch of things that we need to fill out. So I know I need the method name, so that's the only sort of technical thing we need to know, is that get today's birthdays is what we're interested in. It's already pre-filled out here, Dead People is the service, and there's no real credentials that we need to talk to this because it's public. But for example, if you're talking to, say, like SharePoint web services or some corporate service, you may need to give a credential in order to access it. So I can just press run here, and this is all happening on the cloud. And so behind the scenes, Universal Platform has done his job. He's spoken to the Abundant Dead or Alive Celebrities web service, and he pulls back some details for us. If we look at the context, we can see how it's starting to accumulate here. We've just got one node producing some data, and we can see that there's tabular information here, which doesn't make much sense. So to make sense of this, we can then save and close this form. We've got to make it more human. So what we can do is create a template. So we go and create a velocity template at this point. We'll call it Dead People, and press save. Let's put that into the right zone. And then we can hit on the editor. Now I pre-created some HTML here that I would like to see that formatted into, so we can just simply come down here and grab all of this, try to see, and then just paste that straight in. So of interest, what it's doing is reading that data that's being returned from the web service, and then for every record that we see, we're simply just going to dump out some information. Another interesting thing here is we're going to have a link to the full name of that person off to IMDb, just for something to do. So we can save and close this now. what we'll do is return to the pipelines and then play with our dead people, and we want to now add this template on in so we can see that information in detail. So we just drop in the template node and we connect up the output of the remote call into the template. Now, we don't have to bind or anything. Template as a node understands what's going on with the context, and so what we can do is set the data scope here to the entire context and select the template of the people here. So I can just press run. So again, in the background, Universal does his job, and now what we see is a really well formatted piece of information. So it's giving a list of people. So in the context, we've got two nodes of producing some output. The output from the template is the formatted HTML that we wanted. The default output is the HTML. So I can look at something here. I like MASH. There's Morgan Harry, and I'll just see if it actually is true. Yes, and there's Morgan Harry from MASH, and unfortunately he's not with us anymore. So this particular abundant dead or alive celebrities is pretty good. But what we're here today, so that's a really good solution. I think I can do things with this. I could email that result, I could turn it into PDF, I could put it into spreadsheets, I could wash it against my CRM. I can do all sorts of things now. I'm in control. So I'll save and close that, but what I really want to do is pass it on to somebody. And the way to do that is to create a bundle. A bundle is really our version of file save. So essentially, you can create a bundle here, we call it dead people, and I can press save. Other features of the bundle is that we can have a certificate to protect the contents of the bundle itself. I can give it an organization, so you can say it's from me. I can give it a version and then upgrade that version as I release the same bundle over and over and over. Just drop it into the right part of our security system here. So from here, I then need to populate the bundle with items. So I know there's a pipeline out there, so I can go and add that on in. So I can then select, there's the dead people, enter there. I know that I've got the remote call, there it is, so I can go and add that onto my bundles. So there's dead people, save and close. We'll go back and check that our remote calls is not transporting anything else, great. And then we've got our template. So our template, straight up, dead people, there it is, so we add that into there, so we can press save and close. So I can return back to my bundles now and go and check on these items that have accumulated. So this particular solution all by itself has a pipeline, a remote call, and a template. So I'm not saving any other information with that. What we do then is be able to generate the file. And it's going to output for us in a .uiz file format, which we call Wiz File. So I'm going to press generate. And what that's doing is simply looking at all the dependencies in the platform, understanding what we need to make that work, and then basically just give us the output right here. So we can review all of that information in detail, but what we really want to do is just click on the link, and what it will do is download the Wiz file to us. So everything inside of the Wiz is encrypted, it's not available, it's difficult for anyone to see, it's got all sorts of proprietary encryption inside of there. So from here, what we want to do then is get access to that file and move it. So here it's downloaded to my downloads in my browser, and I want to be able to pass that to somebody else. So to do that, I'll just rename this so it's a bit more interesting. I'll call it 1.0. And there you have it. I've got my first universal platform solution all about dead celebrities. So to show it working on another platform, what we'll do is we'll build one from scratch. So here we are, we've got a universal manager running on a different machine, and I'm just going to flick across to getting started. And then I press start here. We can fill in our licensing information. We're connecting to a database. We've got some information about how we set up the platform itself, whether it starts as a service, whether it's using certificates, but we're just going next, 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 done. So essentially what it's doing now is creating its own internal repository for us, and essentially we're just loading in that information and getting the platform up and running. So I can just press next and then essentially finish from that point of view. And so I can sit here and then start this platform and get it rolling for us straight again. So the next activity we have to get into is be able to access the platform now from another location. So to do that, we move over to my browser, and I just simply want to log on to the platform itself. So I'll basically start up the platform. Now you can achieve this through the manager. So the platform is now starting up in the behind the scenes. I just simply know where it's going to, and we're started. So here we are as a brand new platform ready to go. So I'm about to log in. Now if we have a look around inside of here, it's on a different machine from ours. So previously this machine over here is running on a machine called Thebe. This machine here is just a development platform of my own. There's no pipelines, there's no bundles, there's no remote calls, and there's certainly no templates in here. So it's a brand spanking new platform ready to go. So what we need to do now is be able to bring in my solution. So what we do is we just apply an update here, and then we can select add package. We know select from the desktop here, and we select the Wiz, and we can just press open. Now at this stage we can then press review and apply. So I could have various different versions running, but what I have is the various bundles, the dependencies. I can confirm that I've got a version in here, and so on. So what I'll do is just fix up any dependencies that it's found. From doing that, since I've got a complete working platform, and just press update at this point. It's going to ask me to confirm update, and then off it goes. So it's now executing, and it's running, and it's restarting the platform. So it's loaded all of that information in to our platform, and it's essentially going to simply carry out an upgrade for us. A Wiz file can contain anything from any new part of the platform. We can deliver the entire platform to you in a Wiz. So there's a lot of interesting information that we can deliver to you. So we now see that the platform has actually completed its update itself. And essentially from here we can then go off and be able to start using this information once again. So what I'll do is move around and show you that I've now received the bundle. I now have pipelines in here. I now have the information in manager, and the remote calls should be there. That's correct. And I've got a template sitting here really nice and pretty, ready to go. So the only thing that is not with us at this point is any custom information that I may have set up between platforms itself. So what we have to do is then start the process of doing basic configuration with it. But essentially at the end of the day, it's the same platform. So I can go into here into remote call. I'll see that the remote call is sitting here. There's the service with all the detail. And it's loading up our service and seeing all of that information coming back to me once again. So what's left to do is you can see that your platform here has your pipeline in it, and then your dead people, and then I can edit it, and then essentially press play and go. So here is the solution loading up once again, and I can see it's taken all of my remote calls inside of here, ready to go. So something that's completely and utterly unique to Universal is the ability to pass solutions around in what we call the Wiz file. And the Wiz file can contain anything from an entire solution. So we have a saying, we don't want to ship flat packs, we ship whole bridges in OmniEffect, and that's because we want to give you the whole solution. What's coming in the SaaS platform is a shop, so you'll be able to download complete solutions from our partners, or download new extensions that we can put inside of the platform. So you can have something which is completely, take your Salesforce and put it into Sugar, or have a complete solution which is about adding a new database connectivity. Anyway, stay tuned for more demos, and look forward to showing you great new features from OmniEffect Universal.